Hi there, students. Wretch and wretch. So both words sound the same. With a W, a wretch is a noun, as in wretched, yeah, a wretched situation. And then to retch without a W, just with an R, which means to try to vomit. Okay, so a wretch, a person with a W, it talks about somebody in an unhappy, unfortunate, terrible situation. The ship sank and there were several poor wretches hanging onto a rock trying not to drown. Okay, a wretch. Somebody in a really nasty situation. You can also use a wretch to talk about somebody who is mean and despicable. Yeah? A stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, to quote Shakespeare. Okay? So a wretch, somebody in a really horrible situation. The poor wretches who are trying to escape the war, these poor wretched refugees. To retch without a W, to try to vomit when you're empty, but when you're not successful. So, yeah, he vomited everything that was inside him and then continued retching for half an hour. Okay, but notice, without the W. Okay, so a wretch, a person who experiences something really unpleasant. The poor wretch was in a horrible situation. A miserable wretch, okay? So either that, in a really horrible situation, or somebody who's really unpleasant and annoying. You wretch, you broke my glasses, yeah? You wretch, you promised you'd pay me back today, but you haven't paid me back. They captured the poor wretch, and without letting him say anything, they shot him directly. Okay, the poor wretch had no chance to survive. Okay, so a wretch, somebody in a really difficult situation. And then a wretch, a scoundrel, somebody who's dishonest, a rascal, a reprobate, a rogue, a villain, yeah, a devil, a knave. Yeah, the wretch had the nerve to be rude to me. Okay, so a horrible, unpleasant person, a lowlife. Okay, and then to retch is when you try to vomit, but you can't do anything. The smell made me want to retch. The sight of blood made him retch immediately. Okay, this is the sound and the action of vomiting, but normally when you are unsuccessful. Okay, so don't confuse these two because they're really very different. Yeah, to try to be sick, yeah, but not being successful. The smell made me want to retch. Yeah, it made me want to be sick. The poor wretch had been retching for hours and still couldn't stop. Okay, the poor unfortunate soul, the poor devil, the miserable creature. Yeah, okay, a wretch, and then in a wretched situation. This wretched rain seems like it will never stop. And then a wretch, a scoundrel, a villain, a rogue. Yeah, an SOB or a rascal. Okay, the wretch didn't do anything to help anybody. Yeah, that wretch who was in a really good situation did nothing to help the poor wretches who were retching because of the bad food that he'd sold them. Yeah, okay. They live in a wretched situation, poor and miserable. You can also use wretched to say you're a bit annoyed. That wretched machine has stopped working again. Okay, so let's see. A wretch. I think I would probably give this 6 informality. You could use it in, you could just about use it in an informal conversation, but it sounds a little bit literary. I think wretched as an adjective you could use anywhere and is a 5 informality. And then to retch, as in to vomit, I think this is a 5 informality. You could to use it anywhere. Notice as well, to retch as a verb, he retched all night, he has retched all night. It's regular. Okay, so a wretch as in an unfortunate person, or a rogue, a despicable person. Let's see, an Old English word wrecker, an exile or an outcast, comes from a Proto-Germanic word, rakjo, an exile or a fugitive, which itself comes from Proto-Indo-European, reg, to track or to follow. And then the verb to retch, to try to vomit. Okay, there's an Old English word, rekken, or rekar, meaning to clear your throat, which comes from a Proto-Germanic word, rekjana, to clear your throat, and that itself comes from Proto-Indo-European, kreg, to caw, like a crow, caw, caw, caw. Okay, so don't confuse the two. A wretch, somebody in a horrible situation. A wretch, a villain, a rogue. And to retch, but nothing comes up. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Wretch and Retch.